Inside each of us lies a seed, a dream waiting to take root. A potential yet to be realized. But have you ever wondered? Do you have the patience to nurture that dream? Do you have the courage to face the challenges, endure the darkness, and keep pushing toward the light? The story of a small mango seed will make you reflect on your own journey of growth. The fears, the slow but steady steps, and ultimately the belief that one day, you too will become a mighty tree, standing tall and offering shade and strength to those around you. The mango seed and the journey of growth. Once upon a time, in a tranquil village nestled at the foot of a great mountain, there was a small mango seed buried deep within the soil. It was surrounded by fields of green, vibrant flowers, and towering trees. The seed, though small, carried a silent dream within it, a dream to become as grand and magnificent as the mighty mango trees it had seen towering above. Every day, as the warm sunlight gently touched the earth, the little seed would look up at the towering mango trees. Their trunks were thick and strong, their branches spreading out like arms offering shelter to anyone who sought rest. They bore luscious fruits that fed the villagers, and their shade provided comfort on the hottest of days. The seed often sighed, wondering how it could ever grow to be like those trees. It felt so tiny, so insignificant, and it wondered if it would ever amount to anything of worth. "Why am I so small?" the seed whispered one day. "How can something so small like me ever grow into something great?" It had been days, weeks, even months since the seed had been buried in the soil. It could hear the rustling of leaves overhead and feel the gentle breeze pass through the forest. But it could do nothing but remain where it was. It began to lose hope, feeling that it would never grow into anything like the great trees around it. One afternoon, as the sun dipped low in the sky, casting long shadows over the village, the seed heard a soft voice. "Little one," it called, "why do you seem so troubled?" The seed looked up and saw an elderly figure seated under a large tree. It was the Buddha, who had been traveling through the land, sharing his wisdom with those in need. His face was calm, his presence soothing, and his eyes radiated kindness and understanding. Buddha's gentle smile seemed to light up the surroundings. The mango seed, filled with curiosity, asked, "O wise one, I feel so small, so insignificant. I want to be as strong and tall as the trees. But I don't know how. I am just a tiny seed in the ground. How can I become great like them?" Buddha chuckled softly, a sound like the rustling of leaves in the wind. "Do you see the trees around you?" he asked. "They were once small seeds too, just like you. The strength and beauty you see in them were born from patience, from courage, and from the willingness to grow through every challenge." The seed, though still filled with doubt, listened intently. Buddha continued, "Inside you lies the potential to grow into something magnificent. But this potential can only be realized if you trust yourself and your ability to endure the trials of life. Growth takes time, and patience is key. You must embrace each stage of your journey, whether it feels comfortable or not, for only then will you become the tree you are destined to be." The seed was moved by Buddha's words. It had always thought of growth as something fast and instant, like the bursts of new life it saw in the fields around it. But Buddha's words opened its mind to a deeper truth. Growth took time. It was a slow and steady process that required endurance and patience. With newfound resolve, the seed decided it would give it a try. It would take each moment as it came and trust that it could grow, no matter how difficult the journey might be. The next few days were challenging. The seed was buried deep within the earth, surrounded by darkness and cold. It could not see the sun, nor feel the gentle breeze. It was alone, and at times, fear threatened to overtake it. It longed for the warmth of the sun, the life-giving rays it had once dreamed of. But it remembered Buddha's words, "Trust the process. Trust that within you is the power to grow." And so, it waited. It held onto the hope that one day, it would feel the light again. One day, the ground began to shift. The seed felt something stir within it. It was as though a force was pushing against it from the inside. Something was happening. The darkness no longer felt so oppressive. It began to feel a warmth, the warmth of the sun that had been promised. The seed could feel its tiny roots pushing downward into the soil, anchoring itself to the earth. The sprout, tiny as it was, began to poke its head above the surface. At first, it was weak, fragile, and vulnerable. The ground was still tough, and the rain came down in heavy sheets, soaking everything. The seedling, now a tiny sprout, felt as though it might be washed away. But it held firm. The rains came and went. The winds howled. And yet the little sprout grew stronger each day, stretching its fragile leaves toward the sky. Through each challenge, the seedling's roots grew deeper, its stem sturdier. It was learning to withstand the harshness of the world, to bend with the winds and endure the storms. As it grew taller, the seedling could feel the energy of the earth beneath it, supporting it in ways it had never imagined. And as the years went by, the young tree began to take shape. Its trunk thickened, and its branches reached toward the heavens. The mango tree that had once been a tiny seed was now growing strong and healthy, its leaves abundant and full of life. It stood proudly among the other trees, no longer feeling small or insignificant. But the journey was not over yet. The young tree faced many more challenges. Strong winds threatened to snap its branches. Droughts dried the earth beneath it, and even wild animals tried to break its bark. Yet, with every trial, the mango tree grew stronger. Its roots grew deeper, its leaves thicker, and its trunk more resilient. With every storm, the tree stood taller, learning to endure the hardships that came its way. Years later, the mango tree stood proudly in the center of the village, its branches heavy with fruit. The villagers would come to rest under its shade, finding solace from the hot sun. They would gather the fruit, nourishing themselves from the bounty it provided. Children played beneath its canopy, laughing and singing, while the tree stood tall, a symbol of strength, resilience, and the beauty of patience. One day, Buddha returned to the village. He stood beneath the mighty mango tree, his eyes gleaming with pride. He looked at the tree and then at the villagers who had gathered beneath it. "Do you see this tree?" he asked them. Quote, "This tree was once a tiny seed, buried deep in the earth. It was small, fragile, and uncertain of its place in the world. But it trusted the process. It endured the trials of life. And now, look at it. It has become a source of life, shelter, and nourishment for all. Just like this tree, within you lies the potential for greatness. Trust the process, embrace the challenges, and believe in your strength. You are all like this tree. And with patience, perseverance, and trust, you will rise to become something magnificent." The villagers, moved by Buddha's words, looked up at the mighty mango tree with newfound appreciation. They saw not just the tree itself but the journey it had taken to get there. The mango tree had been just like them, small, unsure, and facing obstacles, but it had grown, not in spite of those challenges, but because of them. As Buddha's words sank in, the mango tree swayed gently in the breeze, its branches whispering a message of hope to all who would listen. No matter how small or insignificant you feel, within you lies the potential for greatness. Embrace the journey, trust in your own strength, and grow. And so, the mango tree stood proudly, a living testament to the power of patience, perseverance, and faith in oneself. It had started as a tiny seed, hidden in the earth, but through trust in the process, it had become something magnificent, not just for itself, but for the world around it. Conclusion. As the mango tree stood tall and proud, it was a living testament to the power of patience, perseverance, and belief in oneself. What started as a small, fragile seed, uncertain of its place in the world, had become a source of life, shelter, and nourishment for others. So, too, can you transform your own life by trusting in the process, embracing challenges, and believing in your ability to grow? Remember, the greatest of trees once began as a humble seed, and within you lies that same potential. Keep growing, stay strong, and let your journey inspire others to do the same.